start off with primer on your face and lids. For my base, I'm using VT Cosmetics Blue Collagen Packed. This has brightening and whitening effects, which will help me to achieve HyunA's pale skin. I'm using this concealer from HyunA and my VT Cosmetics cushion to help cover up hyperpigmentation and any dark spots. To set the makeup, I'm going to spray MAC Fix Plus spray all over the face, and then for powder, I'm using HyunA's Oil Control Film Packed. HyunA's brows are more arched and a bit thinner, so that's how I'm going to draw mine today. For the eyes, I'm starting off with a base color that's close to the color of my skin tone. Loosely apply the color all over the lids. Next, take a shimmery gold color and apply that all over the lids. Take a golden bronze color and start applying it close to the lash line, then slowly work your way up. Use a fluffy brush to help you blend out the edges and to diffuse the eyeshadow. Sometimes I can get a bit carried away, especially with shimmery eyeshadows. I bring the eyeshadow color too high or too far out on my eyes, so I'll just use my cushion or a beauty blender with the foundation that's left over to help bring it back down and make it look less dramatic. Next, I am taking a brown eyeshadow and just applying it right on the lash line. Take a black pencil liner and tightline the top waterline. I know this looks a little bit crazy, but I need the extra brush to help hold my eyelid up. I don't want to mess up my eyeshadow with my fingers, and usually when I have contacts on and try to tightline, I always end up getting some eyeliner on my contacts. Now take your golden bronze shade again and apply it to the lower lash line. Take a glitter primer on a small brush and apply it to the center of your lower lash line. Then I'm taking this glittery bronze color from my 3CE palette and applying it right over the center of my lower lash line where I put my glitter primer. To add a bit more sparkle and dimension to the eye look, I'm going to use a chunky glitter and also apply that right over the center of the lower lash line. Use your pencil liner again to tightline the lower lash line in the outer thirds of your eye. You'll also want to tightline the inner third of your lower lash line. Use a thin brush to lightly smudge the liner. This will help create a smoky look. Next, take a gel liner on a thin brush and draw a very soft, thin winged line. Stay in the outer corners of the eyes. You don't need to line the rest of your eyes. I'm sorry this part is a little bit out of focus. I was playing around with the camera setting and accidentally did this. I'm going to use a black liquid liner to intensify the wing a little bit, but leave the end of the wing very soft. Apply your favorite lashes. HyunA has really beautiful bottom lashes, which I am not blessed with, so I'm going to use a couple different mascaras to try and imitate her look. Using false bottom lashes is also an option. To draw the dots on her eyes, you can play around with some different tools to see what works for you. I ended up using a couple liquid liners to create the dots. I first used a brush tip liner to try and figure out where I wanted the dots to be and how large, and then I used a felt tip liner to intensify it. To draw her mole, I used my dip brow pomade and then applied my foundation right over it. To contour my nose and face, I'm using the Sculpt shade from the Charlotte Tilbury palette. It doesn't look like HyunA is wearing a lot of blush for this look, so I'm using a very light pink shade and applying it softly over my cheeks. Now I'm taking the highlight shade from the Charlotte Tilbury palette and applying it mostly on my nose and then just lightly over my cheekbones. I've noticed her nose highlight is the strongest on her face. For lips, I'm using a bright red color. I love this one from VT Cosmetics because it's got a velvety satin finish, which is what HyunA uses in her look too. And here is the finished look.